If you're a street photographer and you're watching this, I want to ask you some questions. Are you expressing yourself? Do you have a point of view? What kind of street photographer are you? So I think one thing we don't really talk enough about as street photographers is our point of view and how important that is. It's easy to talk about cameras and composition and craft, but your point of view is what makes your photos unique. How do you see the world? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to express? Are you cynical and skeptical? Do you believe the world isn't a great place and you want to record that? Or are you like me, a free-spirited, optimistic dreamer?
A twiddler, a dreamer.
Do you feel there's more to the world than what we know about, and there's a certain lyrical and poetic layer that is undefinable, except when it's reached through art? Or maybe you just have a good sense of humor about it all. You look around and you see things that just crack you up, and you want to share that. Or maybe you're a mix of all of the above. Your point of view is what makes your pictures interesting. And in thinking about my own point of view, I've realized that in shooting with lots of different cameras and lenses, from phone cameras to medium format, APS-C mirrorless, full-frame DSLRs, Leica rangefinders, and all types of different lenses, my point of view is still the same. I'm still paying attention to the same things. I'm still interested in the same subject matter. So recently I thought I'd see if I could take that to an extreme and see if I could maintain my point of view while using a very wide-angle lens, as an experiment to see if it would change my photography and to see if I would actually like it. So for a couple of months, I switched to using a Leica Q2. Now, normally I like to shoot a 50mm focal length, and I've banged on about that a lot in this channel. And in getting a Q2 and forcing myself to use this, and only this, I was forcing myself to use a 28mm lens. And I was curious to see what that would do to my pictures. So I want to talk about that. I want to take a look at what I've shot with this camera, talk about how I feel about those pictures and what I think works and what doesn't work. So let's get into it. Okay, so what we have here is a quick selection of images that I'm quite happy with from the Q2. This is one of the first ones that I really liked, that I guess reminded me of something I would have taken with 50mm, but I really love the depth of it and her expression and the light, and I guess I'm shooting it very shallow, f1.8 during the day. Jesus, what was I doing? Yeah, I quite like this one. And this one too. And I feel like I was kind of getting somewhere at this stage. And I'm not quite sure, is she reacting to me or is she mid-yawn? And this one is absolutely something I would have taken with a more normal focal length. And I like how, I guess I'm kind of cheating a little bit in that I'm using a wide angle, but I'm shooting it at f1.8. So I'm still getting a bit of subject separation from the background, and there's not too much noise and distraction there. But yeah, just this moment between these two people I thought was kind of tender and something I'm interested in. That's my point of view. It's what I'm interested in is human beings, humanity. I thought this was lovely. I love the color and her expression, and the feeling of being amongst a crowd, I think, comes across really well in 28mm. This was on our photo walk in Portobello Road last year. So if you're not aware of it, myself and Josh run photo walks in London every other month, and it's part of our Patreon community, which also includes a Discord channel with 800 street photographers and street assignments, which are monthly challenges where we challenge people to take street photos under a certain theme, and those photos are featured on our website and in our magazine, and sometimes in YouTube videos. So if you want to check that out, go to frame-lines.com and have a look at the website. There's loads of information there. Okay, so what else we got here? I quite like this one, although I am cheating again. I'm using f1.7. But to be fair, it's quite impressive that the Q2 managed to autofocus on this couple coming in the opposite direction that I was walking in. I quite like the light in this one and the light on this one. And this is absolutely one of my favorites with the Q2 so far. I've been on this bus hundreds of times, and I love how the light pours in the top deck. I always sit in the top deck, and I just loved how the light was catching her hair, catching her hand, and the lip gloss, and her expression, and the way it's even coming through her jumper. I thought it was quite beautiful, and I thought it was quite beautiful when I was in the moment, and then seeing the photo reflect that as well was lovely. And I think it's a photo where it's quite wide, but there's not too much distraction around it because she's the only one with her face in the frame. All the other faces are obscured, so there's focus on her, which I really liked. And yeah, I think this is one that is uniquely good on a 28mm lens. It makes me want to shoot 28mm a bit more. Yeah, really love this one. Love the color as well. Skin tones with the blue of the seats. And this one is almost like the polar opposite of the previous image. You know, this is warm, this is cool. And, you know, father and son. I just liked how they looked so similar. You know, they got similar bone structure, similar haircuts. Yeah, it's just, you know, I'm just interested in photographing people and observing people and light, I guess. I guess those are my two things that I'm interested in. Really messed this one up. Blew out the highlights on his skin. I guess I'm still kind of figuring out metering modes at this stage. I quite like the light on this. I like how it's coming down Oxford Street, and the way it comes through bus stop windows is cool. But yeah, her expression. What did she just say? What's she reacting to? This is one of my favorites as well. I like the feeling of being amongst a crowd, and I think this really gets it. And I think that's really difficult to get with 50mm. I think maybe 28 does that better. If you're really close and you're in amongst a crowd, it can kind of overwhelm you. And I liked that kind of sense of the crowd from this. And I just got lucky with how the heads are all relatively well separated. This one, I guess I was too focused on this couple to realize, is this Ray Winston? Maybe. Is this Ray Winston in a beret? Maybe. Yeah, I quite like this image. This is, you know, it's absolutely something I would have taken with a longer lens. I think it's very me, as in soppily romantic, I guess. Quite like this. I thought this was kind of interesting, and the gesture that's happening here. She's touching her neck, and she's touching her mum's neck, and the way the wind is sweeping her hair, I thought was interesting. Very typical kind of bus shot from me, something I would have taken with 50mm. But it's kind of surprising to see how it works on 28. Although I probably cropped in on this. Cheating again. What else? Yeah, this is, absolutely something. I mean, this could be 85, really. It's amazing how shallow. This is f2. I guess I was super close to this mum and son. And yeah, I just thought it was quite an affectionate moment between a mum and son, and the way their skin is touching. And I like the color. I just thought it was a quiet moment on Oxford Street between two people. And this as well. This is on Regent Street. Just kind of a tender moment with a dad sweeping hair out of his daughter's eyes. Something I also would have taken on 50mm. I think this is one of my favorites in that, man, just the light on the top deck is just so nice sometimes. And the way it was just catching this guy's hair. I love the curl just coming down in front of his face. And I guess that kind of would have been the shot if I was with 50mm. But I think having more context and having the people behind him makes it a bit more interesting. And another one with someone doing something with their eyes. I think this is almost, it's kind of like a street photography trope at this stage, isn't it? Like there's so many shots of this kind of thing happening. Although I do like that I did manage to get his face and eye in focus, and the highlight, the catch light in his eye. I'm not sure what I'm doing with the composition. I mean, I should probably crop that. Oh yeah, this is, I recognize this guy. This is Nick Cave's son, who I saw on the tube. And he was reading Haruki Murakami. What a cool guy. Yeah, so there's a bunch more. This is, I think these three are also some of my favorites. And absolutely what I'm interested in is just people doing things in public. This is kind of an unusual way to hold hands. I like the dynamic aspect of this, in that you feel like there's a sense of depth. It could be better composed, but yeah, I quite like it. Man, the light on this bus. I don't take buses anymore in Manchester. I used to take buses every day in London, but I have a tram now in Manchester, so I never take buses anymore. But I miss the light in the top deck. It's just so beautiful. I love the color in this shot as well. Yeah, I think these are very me, in that I'm just interested in people, interested in humanity and what people are doing and how they look and the kind of gestures they're making, and how there's a sense of affection between people in public. It's what I'm interested in photographing. Holding hands, hugging, comforting. That's kind of what I'm interested in. And that's what I like photographing. And I like seeing details like this as well, where it's just a bunch of feet. This is another example of exactly what I was talking about here, about photographing a sense of interaction between people, that sense of humanity. That's what I like, and it's what I photograph on any type of lens. So I think it's been an interesting experiment to see if I could get similar photographs with a 28mm. I think I'll keep it up. This is me, by the way. Hi, I'm taking a artistic selfie, and this is, I'm not really sure about this kind of thing, where it's like I feel like I'm just photographing a lot of people in the frame without much going on, apart from this woman seeing what the hell I'm up to. This is something I love. I love the simplicity of this, even though it's very wide. I like the light, and it just makes me wonder about this person's life. This, I think, is more of a 28mm trope of someone jamming something into their mouth, like the Mermelstein shots of the woman with the wallet in her mouth, I think it is, and the man with the book in his mouth. It's hard not to do that kind of street photography trope when you've got a wide angle lens. And you've got all these pictures in your mind as you're seeing stuff happen around you. This is my wife and cat. And another one of my cats. So I'm going to leave it there. So that's what I've got with the Q2. It's still interested in the same things. I'm just shooting a bit wider and seeing what that looks like. So let me know what you think in the comments. Should I stick with the Q2? Should I stick with a wider angle, or maybe go back to a 50mm with my tail between my legs? Have you considered getting a Q2 yourself, or maybe you've already used one and you love it? Do you think you're going to upgrade to the Q3? I think the Q2 is probably one of the best buys in photography at the moment. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.